A memorial service for Kiernan AKA Forbes will be held on Friday at 3 o'clock at the Sandton Convention Centre. The rapper and his friend Tebello Motsoane were shot and killed on Friday night in Durban. Tickets for the memorial will be available on webtickets due to limited seating. It will be streamed live on the AKA worldwide YouTube channel. A private provincial funeral will be held for the murdered rapper on Saturday. At the same time, a memorial for Tebello Tibz Mosoane will be held on Thursday at 5 o'clock at Sacred Heart College in Observatory in Johannesburg. This will also be live streamed. Mosoane will be buried at a private ceremony at the weekend. Well, in the meantime, crime experts have urged people to stop sharing footage of the murder of rapping star AKA and Tebello Tibz Mosoane on Friday, saying it could negatively impact on the ongoing investigations. Footage has been leaked showing two men approaching AKA from behind, opening fire and then also firing at Tibz. To discuss, we're joined by legal expert Melusi Xulu. Mr. Xulu, thank you for joining us. If somebody is gunned down in a public place, is there a right to privacy for themselves, for their family, not to see that footage and have it live forever on the internet?
We look at, for example, international examples in America, where there's like people who are killed by police, mostly black people. Those videos are usually seen. Maybe it can be a moral issue, because I think what we must be able to differentiate, sharing something that is public is not necessarily a private matter, but I mean, it can be seen by the family members of the person who died, and it cannot leave a good image in their mind. I think it's a moral issue rather than a legal issue when it comes to that, because it's not like your POPI Act, your Cyber Crimes Act, and your Films and Publication Amendment Act.
All right, so you say it's not a legal issue because it is a public space, but there are ethical considerations. It seemed to come from CCTV footage. What are the laws, if any, around releasing such footage? It came from the restaurant or nearby restaurant. What are their responsibilities? Could they take action if a staff member, for example, leaked that without permission?
I think it will be a labor disciplinary issue. What I've been thinking about, because we also discussed this in the morning, I think if such videos, if you follow, especially on Twitter, there are people who are saying, they show the video and then they speculate and say, this might be the person who might be involved, it might be someone who's close to AKA and so forth. So these people are giving those speculations that can lead to defamation of character for those people that they are saying they are suspects. So I think some lawsuits are going to happen. I'm already seeing that even the family members of Mr. Forbes, they've said specifically that it is wrong to say those who were with AKA are one of the suspects. So I'm seeing lawsuits happening in terms of defamation of character more than criminal cases happening. But it can be a labor issue if it was leaked by an employee of the club.
All right, so be careful if you're one of those speculating. I mean, I saw even politicians going further than that and retweeting a picture of two men sitting in a car and identifying them as the hitman. Now, we don't know who got that picture in the first place, what their motive was, where it was taken. So surely that is very dangerous.
Well, it is dangerous, but, you know, I think also what we are hoping in terms of the video evidence or photographs, as long as the photos or the video evidence is obtained in a legal manner and it's kept in a safe place and it's not interfered with, and then it can be used properly, because what can be dangerous in the video situation for evidence purposes is that the whole video may be declared unlawful, that it's been unlawfully obtained in an unconstitutional manner, and the whole case will fall apart. So how the video evidence is kept, how it's obtained, is very important for the trial going forward, should the suspects be arrested in the matter.
In this case, I was referring to, though, the possibility of defaming somebody, even putting their life in danger by identifying them on social media as killers. Surely that's a huge concern.
Yes, it is a huge concern because you are taking a photo of someone that you're suspecting, and then you are saying that person is the killer or is the one who assassinated AKA, and it puts this person's life in danger. We've seen it happen before in the famous case, which is still continuing, of Senzo Meyiwa, where one of the people were arrested, but those people were not really the ones who did that. So it puts one in danger, and the person can be arrested, and then there'll be lawsuits opened by the person when the case has been withdrawn against him. So I think people must be careful of just sharing pictures without proper guidance. Just allow the police to do their work.
Could this hamper investigations? That is one of the concerns. Why would it hamper investigations? You say there's a whole lot of legal issues here, possibly defamation, possibly around labor, but how could it impact on the probe?
Okay, that's a great question. How it can impact the case? It can impact the flow of the case in this sense. Say, for instance, now the video has been released, and the person or the people who planned or the person who's a suspect can be aware that, okay, right now, everyone is looking for him or her, because some people are speculating that the person who shot was a female. But in any case, the person can be then in a situation where he can run away from the country and, can escape the arm of the law. So I think it can impact the flow of the investigation that way. But there's another side of the coin. It can be that it's a person that is known by some people. And because of the release of the video, and people can approach the police or the investigator and say, I know this person, and then it can lead to an arrest of the right person. So it can be good, it can be bad.
That is interesting. So both sides of the coin. I mean, if police had come into contact with this, been given this footage, they could have released it themselves, couldn't they, if they were really looking for suspects, or would that be very unusual?
Yes, if it's released by the police, can you just repeat, sorry?
What I was saying is, if nobody had leaked this footage and police had come into possession of the footage, they themselves, police could have shown it to the public and asked for anyone to come forward with information anyway, correct?
Yes, that's correct, because sometimes prizes can be, given, and they can say, if you know this person or his whereabouts, you'll be paid a certain amount of money. But it's sometimes done by a family, if they agree with the police to that extent. But like I said, it's good or bad. A person can run away, or it can lead to the fast tracking of closing the case in itself.
All right, hopefully the latter in this case. Thank you very much for your time looking at some of the legal aspects around that footage that has been leaked and has gone all over social media. That was Melusi Xulu, legal expert.